Hey guys, it's Maymay, and welcome back to another scripture art journaling week. Look how thick our book is getting. It's really thick. And we have just a little bit left over here to put some more in. This week's scripture comes from Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 8. And it says, Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. It's very interesting how this scripture came to me, and I'll tell you. I had a friend call me yesterday, and we were talking for a little bit, and she was in a situation with another friend where it seemed like everything was going fine, and then just everything stopped and turned around, and the situation changed dramatically from what everything had been to another situation. And she was talking to me about that, and she said, it was just so shocking how everything was just going right along like it should, and then all of a sudden attitudes or minds or thoughts changed and turned the situation into something else. And I got to thinking about that. And so the scripture came to mind that Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And what's so interesting about that is, as people, we may believe something today 100%. We may totally believe in something and be sold out for it, and just that's the way it is. But we can be persuaded, we can be changed, and what we may believe today can change for tomorrow, which is really interesting to me, because I think about how people will just I've known people in the past where I've known them and this has been their conviction about something or their thought about something, and then I meet them later or run into them again later, and maybe their mind has totally changed on that subject. And I'm the same way. My mind has changed on subjects from things when I was younger, or even now when I have discussions with people. They can sometimes, either clear up a misconception that I had, or change the way I am, or change what I'm, cause me to rethink the way I'm doing something. But where Jesus is, he is the same always. And it's so comforting to me. Here's why I think this is such a comforting verse. When we're walking through life and we think everything's great, and we put a lot of trust in people around us, we put a lot of trust in the things around us, but they can change and they're fleeting. Those things can go away. It's nice to be able to know we can put our trust in Jesus, who is the rock, who is never going to change. And he is the same today when you meet him for the first time. He's the same yesterday if you've known him for many years, and he's going to be the same tomorrow. So the same God that brought you through before with the same power and might from whatever situation you were in, the same Jesus that loved you and held you through a difficult situation, or the same Jesus that blessed you with whatever you have in your home now, is the same Jesus who's going to be for you in the future. So sometimes we can get really concerned, and I keep talking about things of the world, but just in our life, things change. Life changes. This too shall pass, right? But Jesus stays the same, and we can put our faith in that rock that is Jesus. And I'm so glad to be reminded of that this week. I was really it was really eye-opening to me to go, you know what? Yes, people change, things change, but Jesus doesn't, and I can put my faith in that. It's really, really interesting. I'm going to try to remember to tell you something else while I'm working, a little something I think is interesting that I want to share with you, so I hope I remember as we get started. So check this out. This is kind of funny. So we're talking about yesterday and today and forever, and I have this calendar page, and if you've been on my channel for a long time, you will remember that I did a planner way back in 2015, like way back, right? Over a year ago. And when I was printing the planner, I printed some of the pages wrong, but I love this color cardstock, and this whole sheet is so usable if I just use the backside, so I wouldn't get rid of it. So I constantly pull this out of my paper stash only to flip it over and go, oh, this is the one I printed on. I can't use this one. Well, today I can, and here's why. I'm going to use this calendar. I'm going to cut all that part off because I don't really need that, and trim it down a little bit. This is literally using stuff from your scraps that you just can't get rid of. I just didn't want to get rid of this paper because it's my favorite color cardstock, this craft color, and so I never would get rid of it. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut this down to fit in my journal. Even if I'm cutting into the calendar, I don't really mind that too much. I just want to cut it down to fit, and then we're going to write on it, across it. So any of you guys like to use things like, I'm so proud of myself for finding a use for this paper. So I'm sure other people are that way too. So I'm going to cut it down here. Oh, look, we're going to get 3 days in. So look, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday is going to fit. And then I need it to be 8.5 long. So I'm going to get a lot of it in there. A lot of the calendar page. At least you can tell it is a calendar page the way it is. And then I'm going to do some writing on top of it. And I'm going to start with my pencil because I don't really know how this is going to go. So I'm going to sketch some stuff in. What I want to do is focus on the words yesterday, today, and forever. And I think I want today to kind of run here. Or do I want it to be right underneath? So yesterday, today, forever. I think I'm going to use these 3 panels to help me out. So let's start with yesterday. So let's see. Let's just do it. Let's don't overthink it. Let's just do it. Whatever comes of it, comes of it. So I'm just going to pencil around a little bit and just see what we end up with. So I've penciled this in, and now I'm just going to take a Sharpie, and you're going to be like, why are you taking Sharpie? Here's why. I have lost my black Spectrum Noir marker. How about that? It happens. So I'm going to have to replace it. But for today, we're going to use a Sharpie. And I'm just going to kind of go back and kind of work on these letters a little bit. So I penciled that in. I'm going to go back and erase these marks that I put down that you can see. And this kind of looks like, how many of you have a calendar at home and you just kind of chicken scratch on that calendar? That's how I fill out a calendar. I'm not one of these persons. I'm not one of these people that like do the fancy planners and all that kind of stuff. I kind of want to be, but I just don't think I have the time for it. I use my planner like really, really a lot. So I'm just like writing and scribbling and writing. And I thought this was kind of cool because it looks like I just kind of went, make a note. You know what I'm saying? And it even looks like I kind of doodled a little bit, which I'm known to do that. Like if I'm sitting with something with a piece of paper and I'm on the phone, I'm very known to do some doodling. So I'm going to kind of add my little dots. I love to do these little dots in places. And yeah, so I thought that would be kind of neat as a journal page because it reminds me of kind of how I make note of things. And I wanted to tell you what I think is really cool about this scripture in my life is this. My little one, Joe, I call him my little one. He's 12 years old. He's not little, but for me, he's little. He's not a fan of change. I'm looking for here it is, my white pen. He's not a fan of change. And when things change for him, it's a struggle a lot of times because, like I said, he just doesn't love it. He likes for everything to stay the same. He wants everybody to be the same. You know, he wants his room to be the same. Sometimes he wants things to be different. Not all the time, but when he was little, oh, he was so into everything had to be in a certain place in a certain way. And he's very much a homebody. Like he likes to stay home rather than go places. And that's just what he likes. And this scripture is interesting because for someone like Joe, this is such an easy way for them to understand Jesus or for them to appreciate the person that Jesus is because they know he's not going to change and he's always going to be the same. So I know for Joe, this kind of scripture is very comforting. And I bet there's people like him out there. I'm a homebody too, but I like change. I kind of thrive on change and, you know, some people do and some people don't. So I bet some of you guys aren't big on change. Let me know in the comments, which one are you? Are you a person who likes change? Or are you a person who thrives on things staying the same? I don't think there's anything wrong with either one of those types of people. That's what makes the world go round. We're different. So I'm just going to keep doing this with the white pen. And I just thought this would be neat because it would kind of make this pop a little more on this craft colored paper. And plus, I like to write. I'm really just playing today. I hope that's okay. I'm just playing around. So it kind of looks kind of weird in the camera when I look up at the camera. I'm going to bring it up a little bit and let you see. It's just kind of doodly, kind of playing. It's what I felt like doing. I hope you guys journal in your books the way you feel like doing. I hope it's like, you know, today I feel like being very detailed. Today I feel like being very simple. I hope you do that and just let your feelings guide your journal. That's the point behind it. I'm going to glue this in. And then I thought, it's been a while. Maybe we'll do a little walk through the journal since it's getting kind of late in the year. I've had lots of people asking me about doing a little walkthrough. So if you've been wanting to see some of the older pages, and I don't know what it is, but as soon as I put this in my journal, it just starts to make sense. Like it just fits. So let's go back and look at some of the older. We won't look at every single one. We'll flip through. This is the front of my journal. So this is the very first one for 2016. And there's the second one. I remember this was a bulletin from our church. That's a little washi tape there. The Romans Road. That's also a bulletin from our church. No, wait a minute. This one wasn't. Hold on. No, this was paper, and I found this online. That's right. This was a bulletin from our church. And this one is done with Distress inks. I love this one. I can't believe how long ago this one was. Wow, I thought that was sooner than that. This is done with some color bursts, Ken Oliver color bursts. That one's pretty. I love this one. This is just a bunch of embossing and inking. That one was a new stamp set I had, and I did that with some taping off. That was fun. See, I love to go back every now and then and look. That was a stamp set. I love that one. And this was a stamp set from Joy Claire. I like that one. This is just a bunch of my scripture stamp sets all stamped down together. This one was a color page that actually came in the mail. See, it's cool to look back and remember. Oh, I like this one. This one's really cute. Set your mind on things above. We've actually done this one twice this year, I'm pretty sure. Or either, I think it was this one. And then look at that. Kind of, I don't know, kind of sloppy. I think it was inspired by a photo I saw. Oh, that's cute. It's hard to remember that these were so far back. It seems like just yesterday. That's done with the Cricut. And by the way, if you're new here, all of these have a video to go with them. Like every single one of these. I post these every week and show you how I'm doing. And look, that's one I haven't finished coloring. And I tried to do that on purpose. Remember, I used to start coloring and I'd finish the page, so I left some on purpose. So that's cool. There's one. That's the Rubber Band Roses. I need to do an actual video on that to show people how to do that. And then Seasons. I said I wasn't going to flip through every page, but I'm just a flipping on a... Look at that beautiful cross. This is a Fernley designed cross. I just think it is gorgeous. Oh, the doors. This is fun. I like to go back and open. Check that out. There's my little ask, seek, and knock. The piano keys. That's fun. This was a printable that we got offline. Oh, this one was fun. I love the color. So bright and cherry. And then, that one's thick. Oh, Joe's handprint. How about that? This is my 12-year-old's handprint. I love that. Eye has not seen. Trust and obey. God is able. This one is the one we did just recently. Look at that little guy. How cool. Love that one. That was last week's. And then we are to this week's. Super cool. I hope you guys enjoyed that little walkthrough. That was kind of fun. I think some of them stuck together while we were doing it, maybe, but there's a video for all of them and they're in a playlist as well. So I hope you enjoyed this one. And remember, if you would like to join our group and if you would like to get started journaling, you can head over to our Facebook group, which is called Hide His Word in My Heart, and you'll be able to join in and see what we're doing over there and probably get some inspiration for your journal. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.